The Phoenix Sports Podcast, presented by our friends at OG's, because it's not just any Friday, it's Flavoring Friday. Shout out to OG's Brands, the official sponsor of Flavoring Fridays. OG's is not your average cannabis-infused gummy. They absolutely knock it out of the park when it comes to flavor, and the effects of their gummies are a total slam dunk too. Head on over to ogsbrands.com to see their full lineup, including their two newest gummies, the OG's Naturals and the Big OG's, and find out where you can purchase. Hi, Damon. Nice of you to join us this week.
What up?
Missed you last week,
What's up, guys?
Bubble Damon.
How's
Do you
everybody?
want to share with the people where you were?
I was in San Antonio for the Alamo Bowl to watch my Wildcats win a very significant bowl game against the Oklahoma Sooners. Makayla, honorary Wildcat.
I'm jealous that you got to go to that game. It was a great game.
It was a lot of fun. Riverwalk was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And returning almost all the most significant players in the team should be really good next year.
Do you know the last time I was in San Antonio?
I do not.
I was in San Antonio to watch our Arizona Wildcats in the Sweet 16 take on Houston, and they lost.
And get boat raced.
But that's okay, because I was there, and that is why I am an honorary Wildcat. In honor of the Cats. Bear down, everybody. Just kidding. Don't come for me, Sun Devils fans. Well, I'm glad to have you back, Damon. We definitely missed you. It's good to see you.
Missed you guys, too.
If you haven't signed up to be a diehard yet, make sure you head on over to gophnx.com and join now. There's a ton of great benefits to being a diehard, including discounts on all of our events, discounts on our merch at all times, access to diehard-only content, our members-only Discord. And speaking of events, we have a super great event coming up. It is on January 24th. We are going to be doing a putting party at Putting World. It is going to be so much fun. Starting at 6:30, we're going to be watching the Suns game together. We're going to be practicing our putting. Is that what you do with putting? I'm not a golf girl.
It was a lot of fun, actually. We went.
Yes, we did go for an all-staff meeting.
Yeah, and it's
electric.
It is pretty electric. It's not like mini golf.
It's like an adult mini golf.
It's more like for like people that are real golfers that want to practice their putting.
Their putting,
and it's really fun even if you're not like an avid golfer. I'm not, and I had a great time. There's 18 holes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It took me like 7 strokes to get into the hole, but I eventually got there. Our tickets include unlimited putting, unlimited beer, and wine. Hello, I will be there just for the wine.
Unlimited beer?
Unlimited beer and an unlimited wine. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I'm going to be going to town. If the staff Christmas party was any indication of my affinity for red wine, I will be there just for the free wine, prizes, giveaways, and more. You can head on over to gophnx.com under our events tab and grab your tickets right now. All right, Damon. This is my least favorite time of the year because this is the All-Star game, Pro Bowl time of year. And our athletes here in Arizona just continually get disrespected year after year. And I really don't enjoy this time of year. I hate this, actually, because I have to listen to the media talk about why everyone else is so much better than the glaringly obvious options right in front of them here in Arizona. So not a big fan of this time of year. But before we get into some of this Pro Bowl stuff, got to talk about the Arizona Cardinals because boy howdy, quoting Petey, they did the unexpected, the total unexpected, and they punched the Philadelphia Eagles in the mouth last Sunday. Totally just shit on the Eagles parade and kind of diminished some of their playoff standing hopes, which was great to watch. Obviously, watching Jonathan Gannon beat his former team, who did nothing but scapegoat him for their Super Bowl loss, was also pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie. that game was just so great to watch. I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray was watching TPSP last week. He was sitting in his house. He put the COD on pause and he was like, I'm going to watch TPSP. He heard me talking shit about him, basically not putting up a performance that was worthy of me being confident of him being the quarterback of the future. And was like, I took that personally. And he went out there and he balled out. It was unbelievable to watch. He was 25 for 31, 232 yards of offense with 3 touchdowns. The 3 touchdowns Kyler threw in the second half were the most touchdowns through the air that the Cardinals have tallied all season. So it was great to finally see the ball in the air. And this is the 13th time Kyler Murray has thrown for at least 3 passing touchdowns in over his 64-game span. He is now 3rd in the franchise for those 3 or more passing touchdown games. So it was awesome to see Kyler Murray absolutely ball out. It just looked like the lights clicked on Drew Petzing's offense. The run game was rolling. He had a great 1-2 punch with James Conner and Michael Carter. And Kyler Murray basically sliced and diced the Eagles defense. It was unreal to watch. It was the game that I needed to see to say, you know what? No matter where the Cardinals pick in the draft, which we'll talk about the draft implications of this game in a second, I'm confident that they don't need to pick a quarterback. Like, I feel like that is what I needed to see from Kyler Murray to at least give him another a full season next season to see what he can do, especially considering that he doesn't have a lot of offensive weapons this season. He had to get used to a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator, new offensive schemes. I feel confident now that I don't want the Cardinals to draft a quarterback, at least not one in the first 3 rounds with all of the draft picks that they have coming up. And it's exactly what I needed to see. I don't know how you feel about Damon, but I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I think it was a culture win, right? So
yeah.
You needed that win, even if you just feel a lot better about Jonathan Gannon moving forward after that.
And Drew Petzing too, because I had some question marks there as well.
Absolutely. Drew Petzing had a great game. The Eagles defense is obviously terrible. But Drew Petzing, they were ironic. 4 for 4 in the red zone, I think, in the second half, converting everything to touchdowns. I just think that in general, you needed that victory just to see what you had in-house, and it can just help you move forward.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon, obviously I think the boys played hard for him.
Yeah, for sure. They knew what was on the line.
That for sure.
I agree 1,000%. Everyone really stepped up to the plate, and it was awesome to see. Greg Dortch had over 80 yards of offense, which was also awesome to see.
He's the man.
He is the man. Pay that man. Definitely not necessarily priority number 1 in the offseason, but I would love to see Greg Dortch come back next season as well. So it was just a great game all around. It was great for morale. It was great for JG and all he had on the line. It was great for Kyler Murray and kind of silencing any of those doubts that anyone might have had about his ability to be QB1. So very happy with what we saw on Sunday. However, there is a little bit... Oh, actually, before we do that, Jonathan Gannon did have something interesting to say about Kyler Murray that I wanted to make sure you all heard as well. So here's what JG had to say about Kyler Murray.
Yeah, kind of.
Why?
You guys watch the tape, don't you?
Yeah. The reporter asked something along the lines of, was this the game that Kyler Murray needed to show everyone what he can do? And he was like, yeah, kind of. You guys watch the tape, don't you? This was a performance from Kyler Murray that on tape, when you would go back and watch it, provided everything that you needed, all your questions answered basically in that game. So love that JG has so much confidence in Kyler. He had it all week. The quotes that were coming out of him were awesome. They're like, he's the guy. I've said that from the beginning. So really happy that we kind of got some of those questions answered in terms of Kyler Murray's future with the team. As much as I loved watching them beat the Eagles, like I said, there was...
I loved it. Can I just say that real quick? I just needed to say I hate the Eagles so much. I haven't my entire life. I started hating the Eagles this year because they just are infuriating to watch.
Yeah.
I hate Nick Sirianni, and I loved it. This was my personal Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Also, what's up, Sean?
Hey, Sean. Hello, Sean, you traitor. It was great watching them beat the Eagles for sure. There is a little bit of a downside to it, depending on how you look at the situation, though, because obviously there are draft implications on the line for the Cardinals. And the Cardinals going into that game had the number 2 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. And what happens when you stage a comeback win against a playoff contender in the Philadelphia Eagles? You slip in the draft order, unfortunately. As of right now, the Cardinals have the 4th overall pick in the NFL draft. They will be picking behind the Bears, who have number 1, the Commanders, who have number 2, the Patriots at 3, Cardinals at 4. Regardless of what the Cardinals do against the Seahawks in this week's season finale, they can't drop further than 7th. So the lowest that they could pick in the first round is 7th. That would be worst case scenario, obviously. But that would only happen if the Cardinals win, in addition to there being losses from the Giants, the Chargers, and the Titans. Or obviously them losing does not help either. But ESPN Seth Walder has the Cardinals picking, having a 39% chance to land a top 3 pick. That was a lot of words. Sorry. Had to get that out. Okay. So the Cardinals have a 39% chance of landing a top 3 pick. So considering the talent that is in this year's NFL draft and the fact that there is a huge chance that they miss out on some key pieces of the future, considering the difference between picking in the top 3 and like picking 7th. It makes me a little nervous. Was it worth it? I don't know. Obviously we won't know what happens until the end of week 17, but I'm so like, if shit hits the fan and against all odds the Cardinals end up with the 7th overall pick when they could have had a top 3 pick, that's going to be a hard pill for me to swallow. Thankfully, some of the other teams that are picking ahead of the Cardinals have needs outside of where the Cardinals' interests might lie. A lot of the mock 2024 drafts have Caleb Williams going 1 to the Bears, Drake May going 2nd to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels going 3rd to the Patriots. Obviously, all 3 of those teams need a quarterback desperately. And then if the Cardinals pick at 4th, which is where they're at right now, they do have the Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver extraordinaire out of Ohio State, which at this point, in my personal opinion, Marvin Harrison Jr. is what the Cardinals need to do. They need to go after him at all costs. He is the weapon that Kyler needs to continue to have success and to have an offense that can stack up with some of the other high-power offenses in the NFL. So they do have that going for them. Another thing that they have going for them is the fact that they have a ton of draft capital, like so many different picks, that in the event they really, really do want somebody, I'm sure Monty Ossenfort will be able to package some sort of deal together with the draft capital that they have to trade to get a higher pick in order to pick up Marvin Harrison Jr. But I don't know. I'm just nervous. Like you don't know what's going to happen until it happens. And there just being so many unknown variables and how many things can go wrong between now and the draft, it just makes my tummy hurt a little bit. I'm a little nervous for the Cardinals, for sure. And as great as winning against the Eagles was for the culture, for Jonathan Gannon personally, for a lot of different reasons, I don't know if it's going to be worth what it means for the Cardinals in the draft. Is that okay to say? Is that bad?
I think, yeah. I like I said, it was a culture win, though. Like, I think you need to know that you have what you have in your coaching staff, and that's more important. And like, if you move from like 2 to 7 or whatever, it is what it is. But and I know I mentioned this to you yesterday, Makayla, but like the Cardinals have the most draft capital of any team in the league.
Yeah, they have a ton of picks.
If they truly believe Marvin Harrison Jr. is a can't miss prospect that they need to have in their organization, they have the ability to move up and get him. I don't know if they will or not, because they need a lot of players. Like their roster is pretty shallow. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that they have the ability to, if need be. Also, let's just all be Patriots fans this weekend.
Yeah, seriously.
If the Patriots beat the Jets.
Which is very difficult for me, I'll mind you. I am the biggest Patriots hater on the face of the fucking planet. But yeah, definitely cheering for the Patriots this weekend. And like, that's what I said too. Like, if they have so much draft capital that I'm confident that if Monty knows that he can get a deal together in order to trade for the pick that he needs to secure Marvin Harrison Jr., then by all means, that is great. I am on the Marvin Harrison Jr. train. Like, I'm the conductor of this train. Like, this is a once in a lifetime wide receiver. He is so beyond talented, and I would love to see what he and Kyler could do on the same team. So at all costs, do whatever you have to do to get this Ohio State receiver to the Arizona Cardinals. Boosty asked me, if you scroll up, do you want the Cards to trade it for Caleb Williams? No. I don't think I want to watch a rookie quarterback try to figure out and navigate his first season in the NFL when we just watched Kyler do what he did against the Eagles. Granted, the Eagles' defense is not that great, but I am confident in Kyler's ability to be QB1. So I would like to see Kyler Murray next season as an Arizona Cardinal and them give him all the tools that he needs on the offense to be successful. So I am on the train, the Marvin Harrison Jr. train, conducting choo-choo. Cardinals, do whatever you have to do to get that man in a Cardinals uniform. But hopefully their win against the Eagles doesn't come back to bite them in the butt come draft time. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We do have some Pro Bowl stuff to talk about because the Pro Bowl games are just around the corner. Thank God, by the way, that they changed that format because I got so tired of watching guys out on a football field half-ass a game, which I understood why they did, don't get me wrong, but it was just the most unentertaining format of an all-star game that you could possibly do. So glad that it is the Pro Bowl games. I feel like that's much more entertaining. But we have a representative in the Pro Bowl games. Budda Baker will be going for the 6th time in his career. My God, Budda Baker is the Pro Bowl representative for the Arizona Cardinals. He hasn't had the smoothest 2023 season, considering that he missed 5 games with a hamstring issue that put him on the IR. He hasn't statistically done the best compared to some seasons in the past. He hasn't recorded an interception or a forced fumble. He is second on the team behind Kaiser White for total tackles with 77. So not terrible by any means. And obviously Budda Baker's impact on the team goes far beyond what he does on the field. He is the Arizona Cardinals. Like when I pick a player to represent this team, I pick Budda Baker. He is the heart and soul of this team. He is a leader. He's a captain. So outside of whatever he's doing on the field, what he does off of it is arguably equally as important for the organization. So aside from him having kind of a rough season because of injury, I'm really glad that Budda gets some of the recognition that he deserves. He did not land within the top 10 for his position in the fan vote, but the player and the coaches have a vote, and that's what pushed him through to be a starter and to represent the Cardinals as well. So obviously his impact in the league is also being recognized from players and coaches from other teams as well. Which is undeniable. Like there's no way that if you've ever been around Budda Baker that you can deny the type of person that he is and his just tenacity and his ability to be a leader. So I'm stoked for Budda. There has been some controversy over this entire ordeal, as there always is, especially from a parent of a current safety in the league. If you know, you know. Anton Winfield, looking at you.
It was his dad, right?
Yeah, his
what did
dad.
he say?
His dad went off on Instagram, like lambasted Budda and was like, why is this scrub getting a spot in the Pro Bowl over my son? And was like throwing out stats on stats on stats from the season of why Antoine Winfield Jr. should be in the Pro Bowl over Budda. And listen, I get being a parent and wanting the best for your kids, but maybe don't do it in such a public platform that also completely disrespects another player in the NFL, which statistically, I understand. Like statistically, Antoine Winfield Jr. has had a better season than Budda Baker. So you can't deny that, but also like don't handle it that way. Like,
yeah, that's a weird way to handle it. I mean, your son is a public figure, so you are by extension a public figure as well. People are going to see that. It's just that's a weird way to handle things. That all being said, I kind of agree with him. People are going to be mad at me. I've watched every Cardinals game this year. Budda has not made like one play that I can think of in my mind that was like so impactful.
Yes.
I think you said it here in the chat, but Jalen Thompson has had a better season at the same position as Budda Baker.
Yes.
It would have been made more sense to see him in the Pro Bowl.
As a person, as a human being, I am stoked for Budda the person. As a fan of football and a fan of the stats, I am not stoked for Budda the football player. Does that make sense? Because I agree. I think Jalen Thompson has had a better season, and I think as much as I disagree with how Antoine Winfield Sr. handled that entire debacle, Antoine Winfield did have a better season than Budda as well. So the Pro Bowl is it is what it is. There's always going to be controversy around it. Like I said, I'm stoked for Budda as a human because I think he's a great human. But statistically, maybe not his best performance. Some other Cardinals I was also surprised didn't maybe get a nod. Trey McBride. I thought that he definitely had an argument for that tight end position in the Pro Bowl. Do you have any other notable mentions that you think got snubbed?
I think James Conner would have made it if he was in the AFC. If you look at the AFC running backs that made it, Raheem Mostert had 20-plus touchdowns. Understandable. He should be in the Pro Bowl. James Cook has had a lot of yards, but he has 2 touchdowns on the season. James Conner's probably had a better year than that. And then the other guy was Derrick Henry, who has not been very good. Feels kind of similar to the Budda Baker Pro Bowl situation where it's like, oh, we need somebody. Here's this guy who's been really good in the league for a really long time.
Yeah.
I think James Conner, if he stayed healthy, he probably makes it. And if he was in the AFC, he probably makes it.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's not really a whole lot of defenders.
Yeah.
I think Trey McBride, James Conner, maybe an O-lineman like Will Hernandez or something. But
for sure.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a ton of options to pick from the Cardinals this year. Obviously, we knew that they're in the middle of a rebuild, retool, whatever you want to call it. But I was surprised, definitely. I thought there were some other Cardinals worthy of at least being in the conversation. But Budda Baker's our guy. Like I said, there's no better person to be there to represent the Cardinals or the NFL in general. Spartan7 saying Trey will for sure be there next year if he continues this trend.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100% agree.
The problem is, and Sean said it, Trey came on too late, but they're also the tight ends in the NFC are really good.
Really good.
It was TJ Hawkinson who probably had the best season of any tight end this year.
Yes.
He got hurt, but so there will be a spot opening, and there's a chance that Trey gets that spot.
Yeah.
But also Sam Laporta, who had like 10 plus touchdowns, and George Kittle, who was fantastic. So it's hard to be like, who he should have been in and over.
The NFC is it's clearly the better conference in the NFL in terms of talent in a lot of positions. So it's tough for sure. And I understand why, especially when you look at who did make it and who is a starter for the NFC on the Pro Bowl games, it totally checks out. So no disrespect to anybody else. Like I said, happy for Budda the person, but it is what it is. It's the Pro Bowl games. Like, does anyone really care?
No, it means nothing.
It means nothing.
All pro means everything.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world unless you're Antoine Winfield Sr., and then it is the end of the world. So happy for Budda. Happy the Cardinals get somebody in there. You'll love to see it. Speaking of the Cardinals, their season is wrapping up, and if you want to watch the conclusion to this season, you can head on over to Game Time right now and get your tickets for the Seahawks at Cardinals, their last home game of the year, the last game of the year for the Cardinals, and the Seahawks at Cardinals is our Game Time game of the week. Right now, you can get tickets for as low as $23. Be so for real right now, you guys. Going to an NFL game for $23. Get your kids, get your husbands, get your wives, get your uncles, your grandmas, your grandmammies. Just get your whole family and spend $23 on a ticket per person to watch an NFL game. There's no better place to do it than the Game Time app. I love Game Time. It is the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. You guys, I do not buy my tickets anywhere else because Game Time has the lowest ticket prices for anything that you need a ticket to. Sporting events, concerts, parking passes, they've got it all. I am obsessed. I am a concert fiend. I get all my concert tickets from there. All you have to do is head on over to the Game Time app, download it, and create an account. If you use promo code PHNX, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. If you maybe don't want to head all the way out to Glendale, you can come check out our watch party happening at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. We are going to be giving away 4 signed Cardinals jerseys per quarter. That's what's 4 times 4? 16? 4, 8, 12, 16. Yeah. So that's 16 total signed Cardinals jerseys that we're going to be giving away at our watch party. We've got Larry Fitzgerald signed jerseys, Kyler Murray signed jerseys, like James Conner signed jerseys. If they play for the Cardinals, we probably have a signed jersey from them. And we're giving 4 away per quarter. You can RSVP by going to the PHNX_Cardinals Twitter account and clicking on that link. We also have it up on our events tab on our website. Come out to our watch party. It's the last one of the year. We're going to go out with a bang at Wild Horse Pass, right off of the 101, south of the 202. It's going to be a great time. And you probably, if you go, you pretty much are going to be leaving with a Cardinals jersey.
100%. That's what I was going to say. Like, it's a lot of fun. The food's good.
Food's
we
great.
hang out. There's TVs everywhere. Like,
they got Top Golf simulators.
Yep. The gambling floor is awesome. Like,
the sports book's right across the way.
You can walk down the stairs, play some craps, low limit tables. And on top of that, you're definitely going to leave with something if you show up. So
odds are you're leaving with a signed Cardinals jersey if you come to. Don't make fun of me, my math skills, Sean. Okay, I went to Arizona State. I majored in journalism. I'm not a genius. I also, this is so random, in middle school and elementary school, did you ever have to do those like timetables where they would give you like a bunch of multiplication problems on like a white sheet of paper and you had to like solve all the problems like within a minute or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. That was basically my math class when I was growing up. And I have the worst anxiety. Like, I'm a little ball of anxiousness. So my brain, like when I'm under pressure like that, when I was younger, I figured it out now, but when I was younger, I would just shut down. So my best friend, I would sit next to my best friend and I would just copy off her times table.
You don't
so
have the
I
clutch
never
factor.
What?
You don't have the clutch factor.
No, but I never learned my times tables. So I can't do mental math. No, I did not memorize any, if I had to multiply anything by 9, I do like the hand trick. Like that's how bad it is because I just copied off my best friend during math class when we did times tables. So I I don't know how to do multiplication. It's super embarrassing, but I know all the grammar rules. I can write a mean essay. I can tell you anything you want to know about history. But math is just it's not for me. Anyways, come to our watch party. It's going to be super great. Speaking of snubs, the first round of the NBA All-Star voting came out. And you would not be shocked if you are a Phoenix Suns fan to know who has been left off. This is what we've got working for us right now. This is the first
I
fan
can help
returns.
You read if you need it.
Yeah, my blind eyesight. I think I can read it. It's disrespect all over the place. The guards right now in first place for the fan vote, Luka Doncic. Bleh. Then Stephen Curry. We got Shai, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, bleh, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, Klay Thompson, and Austin Reeves. Do you notice anybody missing from that list that might just potentially be one of the best guards in the NBA?
I mean, before we even talk about that, can we talk about Austin Reeves for a second?
Yeah,
I know. Are we talking
Don't
about?
worry. I have receipts. So I'm disgusted. I am horrified, mortified. What are we doing? Be so fucking for real right now. Devin Booker is one of the best guards in the league, point blank, period. And you have scrubs like Austin Reeves above him. Yeah, I said what I said. Come at me, Austin Reeves. You can at me on Twitter all day. So me being petty princess, I was like, let's just dive in a little bit deeper to this and see what's going on. I pulled some stats for you all. And I would like you all to see what I see. In the bottom left corner of this beautiful graphic, you have Devin Booker's 2023-2024 stats for the season. He is averaging 15, wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right stats. He's in the top, just kidding. He's in the top. I was like, wait, top left. Here we go.
So Booker's top left.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson's to the top right. Austin Reeves bottom left, and
James Harden.
James Harden, bottom right.
Right. Okay. Top left, Devin Booker is averaging 26.7 points this season, which is 11th in the NBA. He's averaging 5.2 rebounds, 7.8 assists, which is 7th. And he is shooting 47%, averaging 47% from the field. Okay. Great stats. You love to see it. Then we take a gander all the way around the rest of the stats. You've got Austin Reeves right below Devin Booker, averaging 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 48% shooting from the field. Then we move on to Klay Thompson, who's averaging 16.9 points, 3.7 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 42% from the field. And we finalize this whole ordeal with James Harden shooting 17.7 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 47% shooting from the field. I just want to leave this on the screen a little bit longer. Like I said, Devin Booker is top left, and the rest of the scrubs, doesn't even matter at this point, are anybody besides the top left stat line. What the fuck are we doing? Like,
it's insane.
What are we doing? I hate, loathe entirely the NBA All-Star Game fan voting aspect of the situation. I think it's stupid because you get dumb fans like the Lakers fans, I said what I said, deciding that Austin Reeves should be in the All-Star Game over somebody like Devin Booker. And obviously, like there is one other son on here. Kevin Durant is second in the front court voting. So at least people recognize the fact that Kevin Durant should be in the All-Star Game, which, I mean, injury, whatever. I hate this. I hate it so much. And it happens every year. And I don't know why I'm surprised because we do this what is this? The Sloth quote? They do this every year. Okay, NBA fans who are voting for All-Star games, they do this every year. It is blasphemy. Why do we insist on disrespecting Devin Booker? Even a casual basketball fan knows Devin Booker and know that he's a really, really good player. So is it just like all the NBA fans besides Suns fans decided to get together and they're like, let's just not vote for Devin Booker because fuck Devin Booker. Like, what is happening here? It happens every year. Devin Booker is constantly disrespected in the voting portion for the All-Star game, and I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. He's not highly controversial like some other players are. I know he might piss some Dallas Mavericks fans off every now and again. Laker fans might not be his biggest fan. Nuggets fans might not be his biggest fan. But at least like have some respect for the talent that is out there on the court. Like Austin Reeves over Devin Booker.
Another thing, and I had to look this up just to confirm, but John Morant's like 7th on the voting. He's played 8 games.
Yeah.
Like, and he's obviously fantastic, but he's played 8 basketball games this year. How could he possibly be better than Devin Booker?
I am beside myself. I am so frustrated for Devin Booker. I know that he probably doesn't try to let this stuff get to him, especially considering this is like the status quo. Like he's constantly disrespected when it comes to anything All-Star related year after year. But my God almighty, like, come on, NBA fans, what are we doing? Like, just put aside any beef you might have with Devin Booker and just consider the fact that he's a really, really good basketball player. And I think the NBA All-Star Game is the second best All-Star Game format in the 4 major team league things. And Devin Booker deserves to be there. So a little frustrated with that, but hopefully this is just the first round. Hopefully people will listen to me ranting about this and will change their minds and will start voting for Devin Booker because he absolutely deserves to go to the All-Star Game. And if Austin Reeves makes it to the All-Star Game, I will riot. I will fly to LA and I will burn down Crypto Arena. Just kidding. Don't put me on a list. I won't actually do that. But we need to get Devin Booker to the All-Star Game at all costs. It's ridiculous at this point. You all see the stats. Really quickly before we wrap up, I want to give a shout out to Clayton Keller because he made it to the All-Star Game for the Arizona Coyotes. You absolutely love to see it. He's been having a great season so far. He's played, if you want to throw up his stats, in 37 games. He has 13 goals, 18 assists. He's recorded 31 points, and he has 4 game-winning goals. So Clayton Keller is shredding it out there for the Coyotes on the ice. I'm super stoked for him. He definitely deserves this nod, despite some other people maybe wanting like a Lawson Krause in the conversation. But Kells deserves it. It's his 4th All-Star nod. He is Mr. Coyote, in my opinion, for this team this year. So happy for Kells. It'll be fun to watch him in the All-Star game format. Hopefully they'll get him
team history. You know
what?
Most All-Star games in team history.
Yeah. Clayton Keller has the most All-Star appearances in Coyotes history, which is awesome.
Pretty cool.
You love to see it. Mac, the All-Star arsonist. Yeah. Mac about to be on the no-fly list to Kansas City and LA. I'm just making enemies out of every sports fan's fan base left and right. It is what I do. I'm the petty princess. What can I say? This was great. I had a lot of fun. This was fun. Despite the fact that I'm enraged about Devin Booker getting disrespected again.
It's always fun.
It's miserable.
Arizona sports.
Sean said people...
You gotta love it.
Oh, yeah, no. Sean said people don't have beef with Book. They just don't care about him. If he did the exact same thing on the Knicks, he'd be the leading vote getter. Yeah, it's probably true. That's fair. I agree.
And I think a lot of what Sean's points he's making are true in here, but at the same time, like, I think the point of bringing it up was like as a rallying cry, because Suns fans need to vote him more. And so like you got to talk about it, because you got to fire people up. Hey, Devin Booker's being disrespected. Everybody get on their phones and vote for him.
Yes, get on your phone. Go vote for Devin Booker. Fuck Austin Reeves, honestly, at this point. Like, if nothing else, let spite drive you to be the reason why you're going to go vote for Devin Booker, just to spite Lakers fans and Austin Reeves. Oh, it's the petty princess in me talking. This was fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bees, Jan Paul, Charles, Connor, Sean, you traitor. I love you anyways. Chris, everyone else, Daniel in the comments. You guys are absolutely the best. I hope you all have a wonderful and safe weekend. While you're at it, go vote for Devin Booker to be in the All-Star game. Please, 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 so I don't have to talk about this next week. I'll see you guys next Friday at 11:32, 12 o'clock, somewhere in there. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.